What's up, people? Jade up here with my 2011 Night of Champions review video. Going to be giving you guys match results, highlights of the night, and also my thoughts and opinions on everything that occurred at this show. Make sure you comment giving me your thoughts on the show down in the comment section below. Also, rate this video thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and click that subscribe button up there. Thanks. First matchup of the night was for the Tag Team Championships, Bourne and Kofi Kingston versus The Miz and R-Truth. I'm loving the way both of these teams have molded together, especially Awesome Truth. It was a solid matchup with The Miz and Kofi Kingston being the MVPs of their respective teams, getting some pretty good offense in at various points, and I love that snapmare DDT that The Miz does. So the match was flowing along pretty nicely. Then we get a very weird sequence of events. Bourne went to the top rope, and the ref had his back turned to the match, and apparently refs don't even have to see tags anymore. All they have to do is hear them, because Bourne, he's on the top rope, he goes exactly like this, and the fucking tag counts. He gets into the ring, ref has no problem with it at all. So then The Miz, he gets a tag in behind the ref's back, a legit tag, and all of a sudden we have a problem and it doesn't count. The Miz, he hits the skull crushing finale on Bourne, pins him. They would have won the match had the ref not had his damn back turned to the action once again. And so it's a no-go with the pin, and I have to say this referee is a fucking hack, even worse than Mike Chioda. And speaking of Mike Chioda, he was the last WWE referee that pissed me off. And you want to know what happened to him? Wellness policy violation. Now, I'm not admitting on camera to saying that I had anything to do with it, but to this new ref, Rod Zapata, or whatever the hell your name is, don't test me. So The Miz, of course, being pissed off at the incompetent ref, took things into his own hands. He knocked the ref down. He got disqualified. So Bourne and Kofi Kingston retain their tag team championships. Then R-Truth, he picks the ref up, slaps him, and then both The Miz and R-Truth, they go back on their conspiracy theory rant. I enjoyed the match, enjoyed the finish even more, even though it seemed kind of weird. I really did enjoy the finish because it gives more fuel to Awesome Truth, and it gives them a concrete, legit reason to believe that they're victims of a conspiracy theory. Second matchup of the night was for the Intercontinental Championship, Cody Rhodes versus DiBiase. The match was solid, but the crowd was completely out of it. You had Cody Rhodes looking impressive while dominating Ted, wearing him down with submissions, even taking jabs at the crowd, then Ted mounting a comeback with some intensity, but still nothing from the crowd. They didn't really get into the match until near end when Ted ripped off Cody's mask. He then tried to use it on Cody, but that ended up working against Ted because Cody, he got the roll up, he got a little bit of Ted's tights, and he ended up getting the win. This match could have had a whole hell of a lot more heat going into it, but then again, what do you expect when you have somebody like DiBiase who's not really over with the crowd and they keep him off of TV for weeks? That's no way at all to build up a match. And then also, I wish that Cody would have gotten more of a legit win, because I really want to believe him when he says things like, I'm going to bring prestige back to the Intercontinental Championship. He's talented enough to do that, but it was not accomplished tonight at all. From an action perspective, this match was solid, but other than that, like with the grand scheme of things, for me, it's just mired in disappointment. Fatal 4-Way for the United States Championship was up next. The champ Dolph Ziggler versus John Morrison versus Alex Riley versus Jack Swagger. I definitely say John Morrison was the MVP of this match. He was his usual awesome self and also playing his usual role. Not there to win, just there to make up for some great moments, and that he did. My favorite spot of the match was when John Morrison was in the Tree of Woe position. You had Dolph Ziggler sitting on the top turnbuckle, then Alex Riley, he jumps up to the top rope, and then John Morrison raises up out of the Tree of Woe position to hit a German suplex on Alex Riley. Absolutely amazing. John Morrison, he also had some more great moments in the match, but to no avail, because he ends up getting hit with a vicious gut-wrench powerbomb from Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger goes for the pin, but Dolph Ziggler, he jumps into the ring after he was inadvertently knocked out by Jack Swagger. He repays the deed, then gets the pin himself, and retains his United States Championship. There was a lot of good action in this match, such as when Jack Swagger had Alex Riley in the ankle lock while Ziggler simultaneously had John Morrison in the sleeper hold. That's what led to Swagger knocking Ziggler out of the ring and ultimately the end of the match. I love how they played up the storyline with Vicky, Ziggler, and Swagger throughout the match. Nice action from all the competitors and a finish that intrigues me and has me looking forward to what's coming next in the storyline. So with all of that being said, this match definitely gets 2 thumbs up from me. The next matchup was for the World Heavyweight Championship, Randy Orton defending versus the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, and there's only one way to recap this match. Randy Orton got his ass whooped. Point blank, period, end of story. Mark Henry rolled right over Randy Orton, dominated him for like 99.9% of the match, and it was really a sight to see because I'm not used to seeing Randy Orton in such a vulnerable position like he was in this match with Mark Henry, because he's usually dominating his opponents and things, but he was really no match at all for Mark Henry. I know towards the end of the match, he tried to hit an RKO on Mark. Mark just like swatted him off like a fly. He picks him up, hits him with the World's Strongest Slam, pins him, 1, 2, 3. Mark Henry is your new World Heavyweight Champion. I never thought in a million years I would have ever seen Mark Henry as a World Heavyweight Champion, but I have to say, and let me just say, Mark, don't get too angry. I may have been a doubter, but I'm not a hater at all, because I've really been enjoying Mark Henry's character these last couple of months, ever since he turned heel during the WWE draft show. I remember tweeting, I'm like, damn, what is SmackDown gonna do? They don't have like a top heel now. What are they gonna do with their heels? And bam, Mark Henry turns heel and he goes on this absolutely amazing run, and it culminates with him winning the World Heavyweight Championship. And yeah, I've never been too much of a fan of Mark Henry, and every so often in WWE they give him this little push, and remember, he's this big strong guy that can, you know, has the potential to be dominant, and it never goes anywhere. But this time it did, and it's with him winning the World Heavyweight Championship. And after the match, he delivered an absolutely amazing promo. Never thought I would have those words structured that way in a sentence about Mark Henry. Amazing promo. But yeah, it has me really looking forward to the future. He basically said that he's going to be the most dominant champion in history, and he's never losing a title. He's not running away from anybody, and I'm really crossing my fingers and hoping that they go full throttle with this. I remember saying the same thing about Alberto Del Rio when he had those great string of victories and he won the championship. I'm like, we finally have a dominant heel world champion in WWE, but look how that turned out. I'm hoping that the same thing does not happen with Mark Henry, because he's really been entertaining, and I'm hoping he keeps his streak going. Divas title match up next. The champ Kelly Kelly going up against the hometown favorite Beth Phoenix. Great effort from both divas. Beth Phoenix dominating Kelly Kelly, the unyielding underdog. She shows some great tenacity throughout the match, like when she kicked out from a superplex. Let me repeat, Kelly Kelly kicked out from a superplex, and Beth, she tried to finish Kelly off, but Kelly ends up countering into a roll-up and sneaks out yet another win. There's only so long that they can continue to have Beth Phoenix and Natalya march around like they're these big, strong, and powerful, dominant divas. The Divas of Doom, here to wreak havoc on the Barbie dolls before it's revealed to be a bunch of BS. Because if you're so dominant, why can't you get that win over Kelly Kelly? Why can't you take that championship from her? Why is it that every time you step in the ring with her, she ends up getting one over on you? I like this new mindset that Beth Phoenix and Natalya have, but at some point they're going to have to reinforce it with some wins, getting that Divas Championship. I think an interesting thing for them to do, maybe since Beth Phoenix can't get the job done, throw Natalya in a match with Kelly Kelly, have her win the Divas Championship, then Beth gets hit with the green-eyed monster, then you go Beth versus Natalya. That's an interesting idea, but yeah, don't get me wrong, I did enjoy the match, but like I said, it's about time that they reinforce this Divas of Doom mindset. Next matchup was for the WWE Championship. The champ Alberto Del Rio versus perennial #1 contender John Cena. This was actually a pretty good match. I was really into it, and it was a great outing for both guys. And every time I see John Cena put on a great performance, I put extra emphasis on it, because there are a lot of people out there who dislike his character, but they sometimes don't give him credit he actually deserves. Like the crowd at Night of Champions chanting, "You can't wrestle," when he's out there doing a damn good job of it, actually. And over the last couple of months, I've noticed that John Cena, he's really stepped his game up in the ring and has become, you know, more well-rounded. So props to Cena. Now back to the match. It was highly competitive and back and forth. Del Rio tried to pull everything out of his bag of tricks to try to defeat John Cena. Senton, kick out, Enziguri on the top turnbuckle, kick out, and he tried a whole hell of a lot more until he finally reached a point of frustration and he tried to lock in that cross arm breaker on Cena, but then Cena like powers out of it, picks up Del Rio while he's still attached to his arm, slams him down on the ground. Cena hits him with the AA, then he locks in the STF. Del Rio taps out. John Cena, your new WWE champion. I'm not too excited about Cena being champ again, but I know that's an understatement to a lot of people watching this video right now. You're pissed the hell off, and I can understand why. I mean, just juxtapose Cena winning the championship with the other title change of the night, Mark Henry. Here we have Mark Henry. Oh my God, Mark Henry won the World Championship. This is so shocking. John Cena won it again. Like, are you fucking serious? Really? Mark Henry, I never thought in a million years he would win the World Heavyweight Championship. John Cena, he has won the WWE Championship a million times over the last couple of years. So, you know, I understand and I know why some people are pissed off about it. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm willing to at least give it a shot and see how things go with John Cena being the WWE Champion. I'm hoping that we have a good title reign out of Cena because, like I said, he's been stepping it up. And, yeah, we'll see how things go, but I definitely did enjoy this match. The main event of Night of Champions wasn't even a championship match. It was Triple H versus CM Punk. This match was no disqualification, and they really played that up because this match was all over the damn place. Literally and figuratively as far as the booking goes. It got started with CM Punk attacking Triple H during his entrance and immediately turned into a brawl on the outside of the ring, then all over the announce tables. They got back in the ring for a bit, then brawled into the audience and then up on the stage. One guy would never get the best of the other for too long before the tables would turn, so it was very equal and back and forth. There was no real structure to the match. It was just two guys with mutual hatred doing their best to put an end to the other. It looked as if CM Punk was going to accomplish that when he went for a savage elbow drop from the top rope while Triple H was laid out on the announce table, but it really took a toll on Punk too because he didn't even go for a cover, and then both guys were very slow to get back into the ring, and when they finally did, that's where things started to get crazy because we had R-Truth and The Miz run down to the ring and attack both guys. We had Truth on Punk, and then we had The Miz on Triple H, and in that moment, I was like, okay, what the hell is going on here? I didn't know what to do. Like, I was in shock because if you watch my videos, if you've been watching them for a while, you know I'm big fan of both Triple H and The Miz, and to have The Miz attacking Triple H, I was confused and shocked. I didn't know who the hell to cheer for. I'm like, okay, do I cheer for The Miz whooping Triple H's ass, or do I want Triple H to get up and just knock The Miz out or something like that? So then we got The Miz and R-Truth. They both hit their finishers on CM Punk and Triple H, and they completely lay them both out. Then they pulled CM Punk over Triple H for the cover. The ref is slow to the count, and this is when we started rolling out the finish of the match. It like rolled out for I don't know how many minutes. It was just very convoluted all over the damn place. So I'm pulling my notes on camera. No shame in doing this at all because it's a mouthful. So here we go. Just sit back, relax, and check it out. So then we get The Miz and R-Truth pull CM Punk over Triple H for the cover. The ref is slow to the count. Triple H kicks out. Miz and R-Truth, they kick the referee's ass. Then Triple H and Punk kick their asses, knock them out of the ring. John Laurinaitis runs out. Triple H hits Punk with the pedigree, pins him, but Laurinaitis stops the new referee from getting in the ring and making the count. So it's clear that John Laurinaitis, he's trying to usurp Triple H's power as COO. He obviously does not want Triple H in that position. Punk hits Triple H with a GTS, pins him. Then Laurinaitis pushes a new referee in the ring. So it's clear he's trying to overthrow Triple H as COO. Maybe he believes if Triple H is removed from that position, he'll be the next to step up. Maybe he believes that with him being Vince McMahon's, you know, right-hand man for the last couple of years, Triple H just jumped over him into that point, and he believes that he deserves it. Maybe, who knows? But you know, Punk, R-Truth, he jumps up and pulls Punk off of Triple H. Punk takes care of R-Truth, gets back into the ring, and is hit with another pedigree and is pinned, but he kicks out. Then John Laurinaitis, he pulls out his little phone and he starts texting. Then out of nowhere, Kevin Nash, he jumps over the barricade, attacks both guys. Triple H ends up rolling out of the ring. Then he hits CM Punk with the jackknife powerbomb. Then he goes back out of the ring to attend to Triple H, but Triple H has something waiting for that ass. He pulls out a sledgehammer from under the ring, knocks the hell out of Nash. And when I say when he knocked the hell out of Nash, like he literally knocked the hell out of him to the point where he was laid out on the ground like Jesus on the cross. Like, oh my. That was so hilarious. But yeah, Triple H, he jumps back in the ring, hits Punk with the third pedigree of the night, pins him, and then you finally get the conclusion of this match. Man, I'm out of breath. Hold on, I need a little breather. The match was entertaining. The ending was definitely convoluted, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't into every second of it. And I just know the bitching about CM Punk losing is going to be coming full force. Look, It was a valiant effort and a very competitive match, and even I, the big Triple H fan, even I, yes, wanted CM Punk to win this match, if only to remove Triple H as COO so Punk could stop the bitter bitching and move on to something else, because I was getting a little tired and losing interest of this whole Punk versus authority figure storyline. It just opens up too many avenues for Punk to go into complete left field, but you know, it just wasn't in the cards for him to win the match, and I'm wondering what happens next with Punk. Like, is he still going to have it out for Triple H? Like, you can't really say that Triple H is in on the fix and he's out to get Punk when Triple H was being screwed tonight just as much as Punk was. So yeah, it was full of some Russo-rific-like shock value stuff. I don't think anybody expected for the match to be straight up, but then again, probably didn't expect it to get as crazy as it did either. It'll be interesting to see how they make sense of all of this going forward and how they provide some much needed structure. Coming out of Night of Champions, I was hoping that Triple H and CM Punk, their positions would be more solidified. But when you add in everything that happened tonight and all of the extra factors and all of the extra people, it's kind of like the opposite is true. Here you have two guys who were standing in opposition face to face. Now they're kind of like standing side to side and kind of an alliance, because they both have like the same enemies. They were both attacked by the same people, both of them getting screwed over. So, you know, I'm wondering what happens next going forward. But what is behind us now is Night of Champions, and I have to say that I really did enjoy the pay-per-view. There were no really bad matches on the show. I enjoyed bits and pieces of every match. This is definitely a step down from the last couple of pay-per-views, Money in the Bank and SummerSlam, but I still think Night of Champions ranks somewhere in the middle of the pack for WWE pay-per-views this year. I've seen better, but then again, I've seen worse also. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about Night of Champions down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching this video. I am J-Dub. Peace out. Fatal 4-Way for the United States Championship was up next. I didn't even write down the damn competitors in the match. Yeah, probably need to do that. I know there have been a lot of WWE pay-per-views this year that I haven't really been feeling, and since what was the pay-per-view? Maybe Night of Champions. No, this is Night of Champions blooper. But maybe since I know it's some pay-per-view around there. I don't have. Damn.